I've seen people do everything right, and then in 1 week, they blow their whole mortgage. Yes, it's the craziest thing when people come to you, they get mortgage ready. And for some reason, they think that they're in the clear. And I know some people say, well, you should have said something to them. Are you crazy? Do you not think that I don't say anything to them? It's like, let me tell y'all about this one situation where this young lady, it was her very first home. She went to school, had done really well. Her credit was stellar. She had a great job that was paying her well coming out of college. And she reached out and she wanted to purchase a home. And I was like, hey, let's do it. So we met, had a conversation with her. She said she understood. And I was just like, okay, let's go ahead and start the process. Again, her credit was stellar. Lender pulled her credit. She was ready to go. Told her how much home she can afford. So we were 2 weeks away from closing. And I don't know what made the underwriter go and pull her credit. When they pulled it, a new loan had popped up. What? So I called her and I said, what did you do? Did you go out and buy furniture? Did you go buy a car? What did you do? And she said that she had to help a family member. And I understand. Lucky for her, because her DTI, her debt to income, was so very low, it didn't impact her greatly to where it threw her out of purchasing a home. But it was one of those things that I was just pulling my hair saying, man, I thought I had, drilled her. I thought she understood. And so for me, it just made me be put on notice moving forward, right? It's like you can't scream into the mountains enough. And people do what they want to do. And, but her situation turned out better, right? It was okay. And there was another situation. And this is what I say. When people, they get approved for a mortgage and then they go and they're listening to coworkers, right? There was this other situation. And I understand people talk and they're excited and they're trying to give you some tidbits of what they went through or whatever have you. And so the client got to talking with a coworker about her credit card balance. And she went, and a coworker told her, you shouldn't have a balance. You need to go and pay that off. Pay it down to zero. And she did. She didn't reach out to her realtor, who was me at the time. She didn't reach out to the lender, and I wasn't doing loans at the time. She didn't reach out to neither one of us. She took the advice of a coworker because that coworker said, I just went through this process. And she zeroed that card out. And it tanked her score. And what people don't realize is that when a lender, we tell you, take it down your balance about $10 or $20 because the credit bureaus has something to continue to monitor, right? Grade you on, right? Keep your score up there. When you zero it down, they have nothing to report because there's a zero balance, right? As you're going through this process. Now, I'm never going to tell you to carry a balance on a credit card because, of course, you pay interest, right? But while you're going through the process, it just makes sense. And people don't understand that. And so her situation, it threw us off from closing. And we got pushed back like 3 weeks. And so it could have went bad because then we had to get permission from the seller. Because understand, she was purchasing and the seller was selling and then buying. So it's a rippled effect, right? And so that was one deal. And so the other deal is you see people go out and they're so excited. Now, I haven't had this to happen, but oh, have I heard the stories. They will go out and they start thinking about all this furniture they want to buy with their home. They go and buy furniture. Not cash. They get a loan. That I know this particular situation where an agent was crying at the office one day, and it was after hours, and I happened to go in there. I was running in, and I was like, "What's wrong? What happened?" And when she was telling me this, and I said, "So y'all not closing?" She said she was barely there. No. So here's this client, here's this lady that has all this beautiful furniture, and she has nowhere to store it, nowhere to put it, because she can't qualify for the home. And so people truly, again, let me just say this. Just because you receive that approval, it doesn't mean that gives you permission to go out there and do something crazy. It's best to just sit still. Sit still. Even, oh my gosh, this was the other thing. I had a client who, she worked full time, I'll just say at the post office. And she had been there for years. Well, on the side, she had a catering business and she made money. And so she wasn't, I don't think at the time it was kind of a side hustle. And the lender called the deposits, like, where's this money coming from? And she said that it's a side business that I have. And the lender said, "Are you paying taxes?" And she said, "No." And he was like, we can't do it like this. We can't have you making huge deposits. Because what it is that when they see you, they're gonna go over everything with a fine-tooth comb, right? So when they see you making deposits of $100 or more outside of your regular direct deposit from your job, they're going to question that. And so I tell people, if you are someone that is, you have a side hustle, and I'm not sure how much money you're making, but don't put it in the account that you have your work check going in. See, that's what we're qualifying you on, that income. And now, again, people just don't understand. They think, oh, it's my account. I don't have to explain. Yes, you do, because what you're doing is asking the bank to loan you thousands of dollars to purchase this home. And so you have to be careful of the things that you're doing to your accounts. You have to be careful of applying for anything, because they want to see that you're responsible, and they want to make sure that you're going to be able to pay them back. Because if you're going out here and you're making debt, then chances are you may get behind on your payments. And I know people may say, what? But if it's income, if it's money coming in, that shouldn't hurt you. But it's not as far as the loan. It's the government you got to deal with, the IRS, because now you have money coming in. And if you're making money over $600, that has to be reported. And if you're not reporting it, no, that cannot be counted. And so I just tell, buyers, I know they get excited. And now I include in my consultation is that when you go and you share with your relatives or your coworkers, be mindful. Everybody's situation and scenario is different. Okay? It may sound similar, but it's different. And so before you do anything, give me a call. I don't care. And I always say there's never a stupid question, right? I'd rather you ask me a stupid question that you feel may be stupid than to not ask me and it be something that's detrimental to the transaction, right? So I always create safe space to no judgment. We've all been there. We've all been there. When I bought my first house, I did not have anybody to ask anything, because I was the first one in my family to purchase real estate. So I always just say, don't worry about it being a stupid or crazy or think you're bothering me. No, that's what I'm here for. That's why you hired me, because I want to make sure I have your best interest, and that if a home is what you want, and we got to get you in there, it's my job to make sure it's a smooth transaction, right? And so just know, once you get that pre-approval, and I can't say it enough, that does not give you permission to go out there and do something crazy, right? Don't go out there buying no cars. Don't go buy no furniture. Definitely don't sign and co-sign with anybody for a loan or go get a loan. None of that. Don't do any of that. Anything that hits your credit, leave it alone. And once you purchase your house, you can do whatever you want. I've heard of people they close on their house, that afternoon they go buy a car. I wouldn't encourage you to do that because that's debt. You haven't even gotten in the home to even know what that wait feels like, right? So I hope this helps someone, and I hope I am clear about what not to do when you have received your pre-approval, right? So definitely let me know if you have any crazy stories, if you're a realtor watching this, or maybe you're a buyer, maybe you did something crazy. Safe space here. Let's share. Drop it in the comments. I would love to hear what you have to say. So I am LaTrasha. I'm your licensed real estate broker here in the state of Georgia, as well as I am a mortgage loan originator. I can help you get to the bag to get that funding to purchase that home. All right. Y'all go ahead, give me a thumbs up if you found this information interesting or informational. Share. Definitely click that subscribe notification so you will be notified when I drop other videos. And so just to let you all know, my channel is not just about mortgages and real estate. I talk about my life as well, right? Being very just open and transparent of who I am. I am so much more than just what it is that I do for a living. All right. Thank y'all.